welcome to another episode of Stuck in My Mind podcast. I am your host, Wize, and my next guest is gonna be a funny story because I'm excited for her to come on the podcast. It's just gonna be a great podcast. I'm excited to have us on the show. So let me just bring her on to the show, Angela Lewis. I usually have a better intro, but this it's just funny. To me, it's just a funny situation. So this whole time, so just so everybody know, this whole time I thought she was a PR person because she she's been bringing me guests, and she does not do PR, not at all. And so I'm excited to have her on the show and have her explain to me what it is she does.
Ooh.
Hello. Oh, well, I got some questions though. I do got some questions.
Okay, let's go with the questions first.
All right. Okay. So, uh, all right. Excuse me. So, what triggered you to launch Savvy Designs? And as you were saying before, you have multiple businesses. So let's start off with Savvy Designs.
Okay, so Savvy Designs came from me just wanting to help businesses succeed. I didn't know what that looked like, but that was my prayer. I want to help businesses succeed. And the way I started was with design. So I started with graphic design. So I'm an artist. And that came morphed into brand building, promotions designing, advertising designing. Then it morphed into wait, you've been consulting me this whole time. Why don't I just pay you to consult me? Which morphed into I can't afford your services and I really love what you do, which birthed the Pink Elephant Solution. And that is a foundation now. And what it does, it creates a platform for business owners who are either pivoting, who are starting, entrepreneurs who have an idea and not know where to go when they don't have the budget. What it does is create a foundation for them. It puts all of the business basics into their lap. I have speakers come on, attorneys, accountants, PR. You know what you thought I was.
Yeah.
All of the things that you need to get a good foundation for your business. I have that on for free for the foundation, but it was created from the services that I provide at Savvy Designs.
Okay. So I asked you earlier, and you answered. Yeah, you attended Harvard. You attended Georgetown as well. So, what are your trainings going to these schools, and what kind of effect that has it had on your training and how you approach things today?
So I didn't do Georgetown, but I did do
Oh,
Harvard
oh,
for sustainable business strategies.
uh,
But I I wanted to know how can I help these business owners, these businesses create a legacy,
yeah,
and how do we make sure when we build the foundation that our roots are deep? Because in businesses, as we know, or as we learn, especially those who didn't grow up in that environment, it's tough. You're gonna get knocked down, you're gonna get pushed down, and those winds and those storms are gonna come. And if your roots aren't firmly planted in the ground, you can bend and eventually break. So I wanted to learn how can I alleviate those things that keep you up in the middle of the night, those headaches, the emotional roller coasters that entrepreneurs have, because in one breath you're quitting, in the other breath I can't. How do I help people navigate through that? So those are the reasons why I continually take classes. It's not I didn't stop at Harvard, and actually I'm going to go back pretty soon to finish the other part of my business degree. But I wanted to figure out, as a tinkerer, as a curiosity mindset, as a theorist, can I solve the problem indefinitely, infinitely? How can I start? How can I make sure that the foundation is so deep you never have to worry?
Okay. Sorry. So what's one of the biggest overwhelms traps you see leaders or business owners or entrepreneurs falling into?
Ooh, not educating yourself first.
Mm,
Having a business, it sounds great until you do it. Sometimes we put the cart before the horse, and then the cart start moving, and now you running behind the cart because you lost the horse, right? Not being structured properly, not realizing that just because you heard it on the internet, that means that's the way you do your business. A LLC is not to protect you, right? Corporations protect you. So if you look at an LLC, you have a limited liability company versus an S corp, a C corp, an incorporation. So that's another way to make sure that your foundation is built properly, because when things happen, as they do, if someone wants to sue you and you're not properly structured, they're going to sue you, not your business.
mm,
So if you want to, you know, make sure that you are properly put in place. Your name is right. You're not going to get sued for your name. That your SEO is lining up with your brand. I remember a client had a company, and when you Googled it, it was for ATVs. This guy did spiritual healing.
mm.
But if you don't know those things and you're trying to figure out why no one is coming to your website, these are things that can hurt your business. So those are things that I come across often.
So like you mentioned, so when should someone decide to move on from the LLC and start a S corp or C corp or whatever?
I'm sorry, say that again.
So you mentioned that the LLC doesn't really protect you. When should someone decide to move on from the LLC and into a S corp or C corp, whatever?
So what you want to do is a sub S corp.
Okay.
And what that does is, because some people tell you, if you do an S corp, you have to have this so much money. You don't. You
Mm,
don't. That's a myth. When you are structuring your company, do it immediately. As a part of that, you want to know what kind of entity you are. Make sure it's a sub S corp, and you have a fantastic accountant that is a business accountant, and they also do strategy. You don't just want to have someone that sees you at the April 15th, or the months prior. You want them talking to you throughout the year to structure you properly, to say, hey, you made too much, or this is the time of year where we need to start moving things a little bit differently, so you won't have this big tax bill. You want to move these things differently so you have more income than expense. So yeah, making sure you have the proper people. And the thing is, people say, I don't have the budget for that. You can't afford it, because when that thing happens, you'll realize you rather pay for it up front for prevention than afterwards, and you don't have any back and you lost everything.
okay. Have you ever where the mentors or books that help what where there are mentors or books that help launch you into clarity instead of chaos?
Yes, I have a plethora, and not all of them helped everywhere. I learned that because my mind is complex, because I have a an analytical mind and a from an architect standpoint, but I'm also a creative. So I had to have to find multiple coaches, multiple mentors to help me until I found one that hit all of those things: spiritually, mentally, business wise, from a creative standpoint, from a leadership standpoint. And it took me a while to find the right people. But when you do, hold on to them, because it is very difficult. But I can tell you this: when you are going through to find these people when you're going through to find the books that work for you, because not every book that works for me will work for you, right? Not every author is going to speak to you. Like, I would mention a name, this very big name, but because of their voice, is which is very raspy, I'm trying to translate. Again, I'm a creative. I have the ADD, the HDD, the HDTV, the OCD. I have all the alphabet, right? So I can't translate and absorb at the same time. It doesn't work for me. So I have to have someone that resonates me holistically. So my mentors might not help you, but some of the books that I've read like Russell Brunson's book, Napoleon Hill, Covey's book, Tim Ferriss's book. I have a bunch of them, and it's little tidbits that help. It's not like, oh, this book changed my life. Like, start with, I think it's called Start with the End in Mind or something like that. Or no, Start with Why. That was one of the books I started with, but I understand it now. I didn't understand it when I started. I thought if I started with the book that says start with why, I would get it. But I had to go through the process of business to get it so that I can come back and say, that's why you do that. Sharon Lecter books. Sharon Lecter actually wrote all of the Robert Kiyosaki books. She has one called Exit Strategy. I'm reading bits and pieces of that. I have to get it in bite-sized pieces. So, no, there isn't like a book that I can say really changed me, or it's a series of life events. It's a series of mentors that I had that kind of made a compilation of, oh, the 150,000 thoughts that I have per day, they actually are aligned. Oh, okay. And then once I realized that, I said, okay, so how can I make it simple for other people? And another thing is, I homeschool, and I wanted to make homeschool fun. And the way I did is I taught my kids backwards. So they got high school in fourth and fifth grade. So when they got to high school and you had all these hormones and things going on, I wanted to make it simple for them. And it was like a recall. So I do the same thing for my clients. The things that I have learned, I make it simple for them. So it's a recall. So when stuff comes up, like a podcast for you, even though we didn't talk about it, it's easy for them to have these conversations off the rip.
Yeah. Yeah. It
So it's like I said, it's a compilation of everything.
yeah, you have to sometimes you have to just do things on the fly. Just I guess just find a way to make it work. And people who really like with the podcast, there are times, yeah, like today, it's a great example where I am not prepared whatsoever, but I'm ready to have a conversation because just because the way it started with just the way that everything started with us, to me it was like, man, it's like because you're a connector. And that's what you said, you're a
Yes,
connector, and that to me is very important, being able to connect people and networking. That's something that I'm very big on is being able to connect with people and build relationships with all these people. So that's a beautiful thing. How big is that for you?
it's huge. It's actually better to be relational than transactional.
Mhm.
Relationships are long lasting. A transaction can happen in an instant and be done, right? These relationships, like I said earlier, I create a mental Rolodex of problems and problem solvers. I'm working on a product on a project for 2026 around this time, and they needed a product. I said, "Oh, that's right. I remember I was in LA. I met the people who made the boxers for Ellen, and we can get them in the room." She said, "Ellen who?" degenerates. I know them. I have a relationship with them, and I can have them come. Oh, okay. Just like I have a person who is a former Swiss private banker. When I know someone who is having a problem with their finances, I have a couple of guys in my pocket for that. And again, it's it's to help others. How can I help people? By bringing value. My way of bringing value is connecting you to someone else. In my business as a strategic accelerator, to help my clients get to where they need to be and position them for power and being known as the SME or the expert in their space, I need to know people to connect them to allow them to do that. If I don't have these connections, how can I get them on a podcast? How can I get them in a magazine? How can I get them at the other events that I do that are aligned with the Oscars and the Emmys and the da 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 da? How can I get them in those rooms if I know no one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So being a connector is huge, huge. That's just like when you go to school. It's not about the school you went to, no matter how big the school is. But guess what? If I want something and I know somebody who went to Harvard has that product, it doesn't matter whether I have a relationship or not. We went to the same school. It's a phone call. And that's how you move about in the world. It's not how much money you make, it's who you know.
So how do you help clients identify what to drop versus what to double down on? You broke out. You didn't, hello?
Can
Can you hear me now?
so yeah, I can hear you
Okay.
just fine. So again, that's experience, right? Um, when it comes to people who move like you, those are the ones you double down on. And the others you kind of like fade in the back. If you don't move as fast as I need you to, because I need these things to happen pretty quickly. That's when I double down. But you have to give people the chance to lose that from you. I give everybody 100% respect, total trust in the beginning, and it's up to you to lose them. Um, Even with the relationship, it's up to you to lose the relationship because I'm here for it. Right? I'm here to support you from day one. But that when the person is at the trade and those are taken advantage of, that's when you can back down from.
All right, I'm back. It's one of those shows today. Oh man. But I just because I just I was using StreamYard, right? And I switched to EV Mux. So I'm still working out the kinks in it. But yeah. Sorry about that.
No, no, you're fine. You're fine. I am a very easygoing person.
It's just one of those shows. You gotta laugh at these shows. Like when I first started, I would have probably
You
been
do.
when I first started, I would have probably been frustrated and we're all red and embarrassed. But it happens. I've had so many funny situations happen. Like there was a time where I'm sitting here and I'm having this great conversation with someone, and my whole entire system just crashes on me.
Oh no.
But there was a reason. There was a reason. So
Mm-hmm.
I looked down, and my grandson is down under my desk. He saw the light and decided that he wanted to press the light,
Yeah.
and everything shut off. So it
See,
was
we would have been. I'm a light presser, a button. Ooh,
yeah,
what is that?
he saw the light and I didn't see anything after that. So but it was so funny, and it was great that my guest was a podcaster because they knew, okay, technical difficulties. Let me keep the show going, and
Yeah.
so I got back on and had some jokes, and it was funny. It was just, but it's
I mean, I was ready to, finish explaining what I did if you ain't pop back in a little bit. So I'm a free spirit, so you get to go over here.
all right. So it okay. So it's again. I got it's
So
go ahead.
okay. So questions.
Go
Let's
ahead.
see. So what kind of clients do you have? Because I see it's a different kind. Is that what you want to know?
Well, you could know because you have multiple businesses. So like I'm sure what I'm sure all of them have to do with helping people because you look like you're someone who's just like that's your thing is to really help others and like because to I'm just fascinated again. I thought again. I'm still thinking you do PR. Like it's funny to me because
No.
the way you did it though, but the way you did it, the way you could like just introduced everybody, it was like okay, and so that's why I actually thought and that's why to me it's just so funny because damn, you good, and it's not even you're good, and it's not even your
Thank you.
that's not even what you
Thank
do.
you. Someone else asked me that.
Yeah,
No.
I just find that amazing. I think that's just amazing that the fact that something you don't do for a living, you're amazing at it.
I appreciate that. I really do. This is actually something that one of my clients asked me, and this is how I get into everything, even with the whole logo thing, because I didn't even do logos at first. Um, I have someone ask me a question, and because I'm a problem solver, I'm going to work it until I figure it out. So I had a client say, Angela, you know everybody. Can you get me on such and such and such? Can you do such and such and such? I said, sure, I'll try it, but I don't doubt myself. I said, yeah, I can do it. And that's how I ended up saying, okay, if this works for this person at this level, right? Imagine what happens when I use this for my clients that are up here. My clients that have their 30-second pitch. They have their brand correct. They have all of their marketing together. They just haven't done this part. Or I have a client that is very well known in multiple industries, not just in the but not so much in the United States, just in different parts of the world that know them more so than other places. And I said, you got to come from behind that. You're hiding behind the brand that people know you as, and that you work with. Let me get you out here and doing, some other things. But what I love about this particular client is they said, you know what? I don't like how these things are working out. These positioning projects are working out. What I want to do is give back to universities in my field, and
Mm,
I'll do it for free, which is huge.
that's huge.
He's like, you know what? Is about to be, winter. I'm gonna have downtime. Let's do it for free. And that makes all the difference in the world for me because now this is fun. This is fun now because now I get to, it's like Christmas when I call these people and they know who this person is and they know their resume and they're like, wait, they want to do this for free for us? When we got people who've done less with their life and they want XYZ. So it's like Christmas for me. That's a win-win-win-win situation, and I love those. Win-wins are cool, but the win-win when it's helping the community, and then it will now trickle down to the next generation because of someone taking their time out to do something for them. You help the next person by grabbing each other's hand and then realize like, hey, you are human just like I am, no matter what industry I am, no matter what title I have, no matter how many movies you see me in, no matter, what I've done for the earth thus far, we're still here together and we're bringing each other up and holding each other accountable. Not everybody needs a hand out. Most people are just looking for a hand up. And sometimes just given these opportunities, and being on platforms and saying, hey, I'll do this just because it's pretty cool to me. Those are the people I love working with. Not to say that all my other clients aren't, but those are the ones where it's like, yeah, I'm for that.
Awesome. So what trends or challenges are you watching right now in leadership and coaching?
It's the budget now.
Mm,
Due to the political climate, not every opportunity that was free flowing before is available now, especially in certain schools,
yeah.
in certain demographics, in certain areas where it was no problem for me to get these opportunities and get my clients paid for it. But now you have cuts from the state, you have stuff cuts from the county, you have cuts from federal. The kids have to go to school, so why would you bring a speaker in and spend money on a speaker when we're trying to retain the students for the next semester?
Yeah.
So that's what's happening in universities. And then other businesses, they trying to hold on because now they don't have federal contracts. They don't have, county contracts because those things were taken away. So they don't have the opportunity to bring people in, even though it's a need.
So how can so how can someone struggling with these issues right now, how can they make that pivot? What is it can they what can they do right now to make that pivot to something else? Or
Podcasts are really good. Who people who can't get like schools and things like that, or they cannot get paid events. Podcasts are good, but they also really people need to know that right now, good all press is good press,
yeah,
right? Whether they have 30 people on a podcast or they have 3,000, or 300,000 people watching a podcast, you don't know who those 30 people are. It's kind of like bypassing the janitor in the building. You
yeah.
know, you thinking you don't want to speak to the CEO. No, you need to speak to the janitor because they know all of the business. They know everybody's office. They know what's going on, ins and out of the day. The janitor has the most information. CEO only knows what the CEO is doing. But people really need to understand that it's a process, and when it comes to SEO, for example, the more podcasts that you do, the more articles that you're written in, the more magazines that you do, it builds your digital footprint. So you have to think about it that way. When you want somebody to Google you and they'll see your podcast, right? They'll see LinkedIn if they're on LinkedIn. If they have social platforms, they'll be on that. If they were written up on in a article, all of these things are backlinks that you can use on your website to make sure that Google says, okay, this is the person that can solve a problem that does XYZ. And now I'll send organic traffic, not paid traffic, organic traffic to that particular person because now I see that they've been on 20 or so podcasts or been written about in 10 articles. And now we're going, oh, so this is how we can put this, what I call an intraweb together to say, this is the person we need to send them to versus this person over here.
Mm,
So that's how you can do it. That's the easiest way that you can do it. Ads, of course, but unless you are using a smaller platform, if you're using LinkedIn before it got the way it is now, you can use these platforms to do ads. But now a lot of the bigger people are using LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram, so you're competing with them. So you just have to know your numbers, what the data is, and use that to grow your business. Don't try to compete with them. Just go in a different direction. You can go a little bit faster. And podcast is almost like a even playing field right now. as far as getting attention for your brand, for your business, for your product or your service.
Oh yeah, it's right now. It's one of the hottest mediums right now. It is being on a podcast is that's something that as a podcaster that I know personally that I need to be a guest on other podcasts so I can reach a different audience. And so the way and people think that podcasting is oversaturated right now, but it's not true because if you look at the number of active podcasts, there might be like 2 million podcasts out there in the space in the air, but if you check out how many are really truly active, it's less than 1 million. It's probably
Absolutely.
it's probably less
It's
than
about, it's, I think it said it was 800,000, but it was only 80. I can't remember. I think it was 800,000 that are completely active. But
yeah.
you have to think about it. You have those that are niche down.
Hmm. Yeah.
They only talk about hiking. They only talk about
Gaming or whatever.
travel or gaming. Yeah. And then you just find your industry. You find your people so you can talk to your people. And
Yeah.
those are the platforms that you use. So, like with you, because you are a podcaster, you could just talk to podcasters, you
Hmm.
know, especially podcasters who want to grow other podcasters' platforms. Wink, wink. Those are the ones that you want to get on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Always helping, right?
Yes. But my question is, how did you find me though? Because I just was my SEO, or do I need
As
to
you
improve my
said,
SEO?
as I said, as you said, no, I'm not going to say I'm a great researcher,
Uh-huh. Okay.
and homeschool taught me that. Being able to create curriculum for my kids and make it fit for their heart and the way that they learn,
Hmm.
help me become go down rabbit holes really quick and come up with solutions.
Yeah.
And this it helps me homeschooling helps me literally in everything that I do daily.
Mm.
And it helps with my patience level. It helps me with my clients who are like me, who are creatives, who are all over the place. And they're not necessarily all over the place. It's just that they need someone to ideate with them like I do so they can operate in their zone of genius. So, yes, it's several things that's going to keep you up at night. But my job is to keep you calm, keep you clear and concise so you can do what you do best. And that's how we create acceleration. And me going out and researching based off of your energy, your industry, or who I know you are as a person, and then aligning you with that, it helps easily position you. So when I say, "Hey, I got this person," you're going to listen to me because I know you, and I'm going to protect you. I'm not going to put you in a place on a platform that's going to hurt your brand or damage you, because that's my name.
Yeah.
I only have one, right? So I'm not gonna damage you at all, and I'm going to place you in a place that is going to position you and not just you, the person that you're speaking to, on a higher playing field. So, yeah, I did some research on. I did my due diligence.
All right. All right. Okay. Good. Awesome. Awesome. Hey, at least now I know I'm there's research on me that could be done. So because when I first started, it was so difficult to find guests, right? Because I wasn't in media. This wasn't my lane. And so when I first started, it was, oh, what are your downloads or I'm like, I'm starting out. I'm just starting out. Like this is something new to me. This is a new realm. And so it took me just being consistent, going, reaching out to people. Started off with friends, and then I started connecting with networking on Facebook groups and stuff like that. I started just connecting with different people and just started building relationships with all these people. At one point, I got connected with this PR guy, and he bought a lot of celebrities and some and other podcasters. and that's what started it. And then when I finally decided, like, this is the lane I want to go to. I want to focus more on coaches, speaking to entrepreneurs, content creators. That's when I started really talking to people like yourself, people like Ron. Eventually, when I get to speak to Ron and uh, and, and, and everyone else you've introduced me to, but it's just been amazing because I've learned so much. Like, I've learned
Yeah.
edit video, edit audio. I've got into graphic design, doing logos and creating my own logos for my own podcast and intros and outros and all this stuff. And so I've developed skills that I didn't know I had. Like, I, I'm a my day job. I am a pit boss in the casino. I'm not a
Mm.
I'm not in media. I'm not in. And then once I got into podcasting, I found that there's another side of me. There's more to me. Like, I didn't know what my purpose was, and until I started podcasting, and I didn't know I had a voice.
Absolutely.
So once I started podcasting and realized, like, this is awesome. This is amazing. Like, being able to have these conversations, and when certain episodes, when people will tune in and they catch an episode that they needed to listen to, and they send me a message, those are the ones, like, I'm like, all right, this is why I do it. This is why I keep doing it. Because one of my favorite episodes, like, one of my favorite messages was from, actually, she was a guest twice on my show, and the second time she was on my show, I hadn't released the episode for, like, I had it in the can for like a year. I didn't release it, and because I kind of got lost in the shuffle, and so when I did release it, she saw the thumbnail, this description of the episode and everything, and she had been going through some stuff personally, and she kind of felt lost. And when she saw the description, the picture that I used for the thumbnail, she's like, "Oh, that's one of my favorite pictures of me." She's like, "And all the wonderful things you said about me and everything you said in the description." She said, "I kind of lost myself. I didn't feel like that person anymore." And then you released the episode, and so that to me was an amazing feeling to be able to, like, we recorded this episode a year ago, and it got
Mm.
lost, and then when I did release it, it was for her. It was like that episode, her
Mm.
own episode was for her. And so I love doing this. I love having these conversations. I love being able to learn. I've learned so much from the podcast.
Yeah. And that's the thing. When you are walking in your purpose, you realize it's not hard. What you're doing is not hard. And we have to realize everything that was created with breath. So why are we pushing so hard? Why are we pushing this mountain, this rock up a mountain when you don't have to? Think about the thing that you do the easiest that people are always asking you questions about. Can you help me fix this? Girl, can you help me do da 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 da? Do you know how to do this? Can you do this and this? With you, you're a communicator. Okay. So even when you're doing your day job, you're communicating.
Hmm.
You're doing what you're doing, but just in a different atmosphere.
Yeah.
This is more of a intimate atmosphere for you. So now instead of you having the buzz around you, you have an intimate atmosphere with those people that you might have found intriguing or you were curious about when they were sitting there with you. Now you get to talk to them like, hey, if you weren't sitting at my table, this is what the conversation would look like, right? And that might be something that you might want to try, like those people that you find really intriguing at your table, like, hey, I would love to continue this conversation on my podcast. That might be another way for you to get some more interesting people because you never know who you're talking to.
Oh
This
yeah.
is why you should always speak to everyone and respect everyone because you never know who you're talking to. That one conversation can change your entire life.
Oh no. I've it's the relationships I've been able to build through podcasting are lifelong friendships now. Like, there are people that I've built, like, I haven't there's been a couple of people I've met in person, and just those relationships, just being able to have those relationships where where if say they say I drop something or release something, the people I've connected with podcasting, those are some of the first before even friends and real close intimate family and friends and stuff. Those people are already supporting whatever I'm doing. Like if
Oh, 100%.
you send a newsletter or whatever, they're the first ones to like they're jumping through hoops for me. They're sharing it. They're and so but
Brand ambassadors.
but I realize it's because I do the same for them.
Right.
It's for me. It's always if I see anyone on any of my timelines on anything any of my like Instagram, Facebook, any of my friends who have a business or whatever, if they share something, if they I'm sharing it out. What it doesn't hurt me to share it, and if it's
I
something that I
agree.
can purchase, then I'll go purchase it. Or if it's a kid's book, I'll go buy their kid's book, whatever. But because I feel like, how can I expect anyone to support me if I'm not being supportive, if I'm not helping out, if I'm not connect? How do I expect people to connect with me if I'm not connecting others? If I'm
Right. You treat people the way you want to be treated. And if that's what you're looking for, if you're looking for support, that means you should operate in that in a supportive way. And then also be intentional about it, right? You want to attract supportive people, but when in your actions is what you will receive, which is an effect, cause and effect.
Mhm.
Because you are helping other people and being supportive, the effect is these people are becoming supportive for you.
Yeah.
So ideation, facilitation, and creation, execution, delegation. These are things that I work my clients through because not everything is professional, right? You have personal things that are intertwining. Your personal brand is your professional brand, whether you want it to be or not, because you are you, no matter where you go, no matter what hat you're wearing, no matter whether it's your W 2, your side gig, or your business. You are you, and you have to represent yourself in a certain way. But you also have to realize that you are a person. You have to give yourself grace, right? So when you're having those ups and those downs on your entrepreneurial roller coaster, because it is, like I said, one day it could be that morning. I'm not doing this ever again. My equipment broke. This happened, this happened, this happened, this happened. But then on that same dip, you coming right back up. Oh my gosh, this is the best thing that ever happened to me. I didn't do this podcast but a year ago, but look what it did. Look how what effect, look at the impact that it's having, which is way more it's going to leave a bigger impression on you than the equipment not working, right? The fact that you impacted someone, bless someone with that information
Mhm.
at that particular time, that's when it was supposed to be. At that time, it was supposed to wait for that. It was supposed to be for that, and those are the days that we live for. Not the ones where we're like, why in the world would I wake up to do this again,
Mm.
especially if it happened like this yesterday. But those days when you can say, wow, because I got up,
Yeah.
this is what happened. Those are the best days. And when you are speaking to someone like myself, I help you get clarity in that. So even though you might have felt this way when you got on the call, you might feel a different way in the end of the call because now you that those things that were weighing you down, keeping you up, the elephant in the room. Because one of my companies is called the Pink Elephant Solution. I'm sorry, and what that does is allows us creatives to know that we were always supposed to stand out.
Yeah.
And sometimes those weeds that we have in our lives that we didn't put in our minds ourselves, other people put them there. And the thing is with pink elephants, they are a real occurrence in nature. Okay, it happens in 0.7% in elephants, and they're not like unicorns. But when you are a pink elephant, whether you are a baby or you're a full-grown adult, amongst a host of gray elephants, you're going to stand out. And you're the one who took the road less traveled. You're the one who might not have done so well in school, but you're an amazing person in business. You might be the person who didn't go to the school that your parents said to go to, but because you are a business owner now, you're killing it. Now you're taking care of them. You know, you decided not to be the problem. You decided to be the solution, and that's what pink elephants are. They're innovators. They're creatives, but they also need other innovators and creatives to understand their their life's work, their mind's work, so then they can operate in their zone of genius. And when you are in your creative state, you get to do more. You become more productive, and productivity equals profitability, right? So, but when you're clear and you're concise and you have clarity, you can focus and have momentum. That's one of my coaches call it. It's like you have to focus, and that was an F word for me. Oh, I hated that word. But now I understand like I have to align my thoughts to where I want to go. And if you're all over the place, you can't put in your GPS, I want to go all over the place. No, you have to go in this direction. So those are the ways that I help people. I'm connecting them is one of those ways, helping them reach the places they wanted to go next without having to put that effort in themselves. Just ideating with me so I can go out and create and or execute or figure out whether we need to delegate those problems and or those solutions to other people. Because just because you know how to do something doesn't mean you know how to do it. Doesn't mean that you have to. Sorry, just because you know how to do something doesn't mean that you have to do it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that we are able to do and we might be great at, but if it is causing you to step away from or take away from you operating in your zone of genius and doing your thing, the thing, you need to delegate that. So that's some of the things that we got to think of as entrepreneurs wearing all of the hats. Sometimes we need to let some of those hats go so we can not have to balance those things, but we can walk straight in the direction that we're our purpose to go.
Awesome.
So I can give you a little bit of a little bit more of what I do, because I know, like right now, you're like, what
I'm
did
good.
I get myself?
I'm good. No, I'm good. I believe you. But so what's next for your brand? Scaling, mentoring, courses. What do you have planned next?
Ooh, so I am now operating in my passions and my purpose. They're aligned. My personal and my professional brand are aligned. Period. But now my passions are starting to peak out a little bit more. I want to help those who don't know what they don't know until they find out they don't know it. I want to be the one to tell them. So I want to go in about 3 to 5 continents and help people who want to know about business, didn't know they like podcasts, didn't know they want to own their own business, who, just needed to talk to someone to ideate to say, okay, wow, this is the thing that I'm supposed to be doing. Even if it was a gentleman that I helped him get his career by listening to his voice. He had the most beautiful DJ voice, but he was a waiter. It was a gentleman that I helped now with his photography career. He was in community college at the time, and they didn't have any other courses that were aligned with his studies. And it was three alternatives. And I said, why don't you take photography? That's something you can always use. You don't have to continue end up being this man's career. And then we were in a room together, and he says, I would love to do what that guy is doing. We were doing a federal event, and the guy was a photographer. So go over there and talk to him. He's been working with that guy since it's been 20 years now.
Wow.
Sometimes I need to be in the room with you. Sometimes I could do it like this, but a lot of times, if I'm in the room with you, I can feel a little bit more and see things that need tweaking, and we can move from there.
And you're amazing. You're amazing. This is amazing having this conversation. Listen, when you don't expect things, you get
And
some.
it's a gift. Today is the present. Well, yesterday was the present, but look what you get. And we are present in this moment. Today is a
Yes.
present, and this is the gift that you got today. So
Oh, yes, it
you
is.
just honor that. How you living it.
I'm blessed to be able to have this conversation. Thank you.
Yay.
So, what's one clarity building tool every leader should start with?
Oh, Easy one. If you have a product or a service or a brand, if you cannot say it within 2 to 3 sentences, you do not have clarity.
Elevator pitch.
Start with that. Yeah, start with that. Because if somebody asks you in a room, on a social media or on a social platform, at a family function, what do? And it takes you 5 minutes to explain. They automatically, well, not necessarily. If someone is experienced, they're going to automatically know you're not prepared. You're not ready. But if you can say, I help people do XYZ so that this can happen, just a very simple. I help people create shoes so that their feet won't hurt. I help people build businesses so they can grow plants. Very simple. You can build on the conversation, but when someone asks you a question, be very concise. And the other thing, when someone asks you what you do, don't tell them what your job title is.
Mm.
Tell them how you solve a problem. They don't care that you're an attorney. They want to know if you can solve their problem. So if you can tell them, well, I help people do so and so. This continues the conversation. As an attorney, they go, oh great, that's wonderful, and they'll move on unless they need an attorney. But if you say, I help you structure your business so you don't have to worry about the pitfalls later, that makes you intrigued, that makes you, want to ask more questions. Well, what kind of businesses? Things like that. Those are the quickest ways you can kind of structure yourself.
I got to make sure to come back and listen to this episode because I need these gems. You laugh, but these are some real good gems, man. You dropping some golden nuggets right now. So that for me, right, what you're saying to me right now, it's really resonating with me with what you said right now, as far as like the elevator pitch and all. Like I never thought about it. Like when people say, actually, oh, what's your pack? What do you do? Oh, I'm just a podcaster. I didn't really decide. I didn't think about real hard about. Oh no, that's not interesting. Like you made me
Right.
think about it. Yeah.
So you elevate people's voices on a podcast platform,
Hmm.
right? You are helping people position their brand by using your podcast to tell about, the things that have helped them in their business or you built a podcast. You can say it that way. I've built a platform to help people get out of their minds, you know, or we all get stuck in our minds. So I created this so that this can happen.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna start using. Thank you.
Yeah. You see how the conversation flows a little bit
Yeah,
more
no,
versus, yeah, I'm a podcaster.
yeah, no. When you were saying it, it was just like, damn, that makes sense. Yeah. So that's why I said I'm gonna go. I got to go back and listen to this entire episode because you've been dropping golden nuggets through the whole thing. So I greatly appreciate it. It's been great.
I appreciate this has been really good. I'm glad I kind of threw you off guard. I'm glad you didn't prepare for this because I believe you got what you were supposed to out of this.
Oh no,
It
definitely.
wasn't
It
it
it was.
wasn't about the
I think
structure of it
I
all.
think it was. I think this episode was for me personally, honestly, it got me out of my comfort zone because I'm used to being prepared and everything. So it got me out a little bit out of my zone and being able to have to go on the fly and do this. So yeah, no, this episode was for me. So and anybody else out there who needed it, but I'm taking it as it was for me.
I appreciate that. I want to know like questions that you ask people that have been thought provoking as a podcaster because those questions can actually change your guest life. It can actually change your life because the way they answer it, right? What is a
Mhm.
thought provoking question
Yeah.
about even podcasting? So
Oh.
when I help you get on these other podcasts, which I'm soliciting my services for you right now, what thought provoking thing can I help you say to get other podcasters say, I want this dude?
Mhm. That's a good question. Yeah, that's a really good question. I mean, I'm gonna have to really sit down and answer that question because that's yeah, and yes, I would love to use your service. 'Cause you are really good at what you do. So
Thank you.
oh, no, thank
I love
you.
what I do. If that doesn't show,
Nah,
um,
it does, and that's why this episode has been so much fun because the energy, just the energy of it, just being able to have this great conversation and see you at work, and like I said, like I wasn't prepared, but it turned out to be a really great episode. So I'm really happy, man. This is good. This is dope.
we can do this again if you like. I would love
Oh yeah,
um, to
definitely.
help. You know, I'm always here to help. But yeah, I want to even turn the tables on you to say, hey, like why did you start your podcast? Like why did you think that this was the medium for you?
Oh man.
Why do your voice should be heard? I, I'm quite sure your listeners want to know that.
Oh, they've heard, but for me, it's been it started in it started 2001 when I met my first wife, and she introduced me into the world of self development and all this other stuff, and then in '08, she passed away in a car accident,
Oh
and
wow, I'm so sorry.
um and then just life just started spiraling after that. A year after my wife passed away, I reunite with my dad after not being him not being a part of my life for 28 years. Um,
Mm,
2000 this 2009 now. June, go to Puerto Rico for Father's Day weekend. Arrive Friday. Talk to my dad. I forgive him. We talk and it's just it was kind of this good closure. Saturday morning, he passes away. So now it's like, all right, what the hell? What's going on? Like, I lose my wife. I reunite with my dad, only to lose him the next day after we really get to connect. Um, and it was just like one tragedy after another. I buried uh, my uncle and my brother within 3 months of each other. My uncle was a freak accident, fell down some stairs, and my brother was got sick and he passed away. And then probably a year after that, my brother that I reunited with from my father's side, he's probably 3 months older than me. He passes away from a drug overdose, and so
mm,
it's just now I'm like I'm angry. I'm angry with
I know.
and thinking like, why me? Why is this happening to me? Why is it that I'm being punished? Why are you doing it? And that's what. And so for me, it was like I just headed down the dark path of drinking and really not caring about anything, not caring about life, just being very self-destructive. And then one day, this voice is in my head telling me, "This isn't for you. This isn't your path. This is not what you're meant to do." And so I went. I sought help. Started turning my life around. Got clean. Just just basically just started going in the gym, and things started turning around. And in 2013, I meet my wife that I'm with now, and that just accelerates things. Now I'm back into self development. Um, I, I'm I'm I've been at my job now for the last. This is the job I'm at now. Been there 11 years now, and so I've been able to turn my life around. But at the beginning of this of me and my wife getting together, I didn't know my purpose. I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing, and then the pandemic hit, and I was furloughed from work,
Mm,
and now I had purchased this podcasting equipment the year prior to the pandemic, and it was just sat in my house because me and my friend was going to do a sports podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Not the lane that I'm in now. It was going to be a sports podcast, and it just didn't work out. And then the pandemic hit, the George Floyd situation hit, the elections. So it was a lot of stuff that I had to get off my chest. It was just something that I
Mm.
I finally got over the fear because it was like, oh, who's gonna want to listen to me? I sound horrible. My voice sucks. All these different things. And then I finally just pressed record. One day I'm just sitting here with my nephew. I got the phone. I'm talking to him on the phone, and I just decided to hit record. And me and him give a quick, probably 5-7 minutes, and we introduced the podcast. I like stuck in my mind. I said stuck in my head, something, any whatever it was, and that broke the ice for me. And once I did that, it was like, okay. I started with
Yeah.
it took me a month to do the next episode, but then I got a little bit more comfortable. Then it took me like 3 weeks to do the next one, and got more comfortable. And then it took me 2 weeks now to do the next one. And then it got to the point where I was probably recording a podcast a day. Like just talk, just
Yeah.
and so that for me, it was just like, okay. And then when I started to really have these real amazing guests come on, and people really talking about their stories and sharing their journey and everything, and the response that I was getting, it was like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Being able to have these conversations and step out of my comfort zone and do something that I'm not professionally trained to do, and just come out and just do it.
Yeah. But you do it like breathing. Like bruh. You do it like bruh.
But
That's how you know you're supposed to do
it didn't start off that way.
it. But you have to be consistent.
Yeah, no.
You have to be dedicated.
Hmm.
And you have to take action.
Of
That's
course.
it.
Oh yeah.
Once you do those three things, oh yeah, you got it.
Oh yeah.
You
None.
got it. As long as you're consistent
I started,
and give yourself a goal.
like people be like, "Oh yeah, I don't have money to spend on." I s- my first setup was a hundred and something dollars I spent on a podcasting kit from Amazon, and
There you
that's how I
go.
started. And then when I really started seeing traction, and I was like, "Oh, this is something I really enjoy. This is something." Then I started investing in a quality mic, and I started investing
Yeah.
in the camera, and investing in myself, and because I felt like, all right, people are giving me something very precious, which is their time. And I want to be
Hmm.
able to give them something. I want to be able to give them the best quality that I can. I want to make sure that my audio is on point. I want to make sure my video is on point. I want to make sure that they're getting their times, whatever the time that they're investing in my show.
Exactly. I agree. And you're doing a great job at it.
I appreciate it. Thank
Um, so I'll be sending more people your way.
you. Send them.
But I know it's very important for the people who haven't seen your podcast before. They need to know like why. Why are you doing this? And it also connects people to you. 2019 was like that for me. Well, I had loss after loss after loss, and it was like I went silent.
Yeah.
I didn't talk to anybody. After that last one, it hit December because I was like, "Oh, I made it through my birth. I made it through November." I was like, "Cool, I'm about to make it. December's about to happen." A couple days before Christmas, my world got rocked, and I just stopped talking. So I totally understand where you are. I totally understand where you were. And once we realize that this whole thing we call life is a process, it's not about how fast you get there. It's the lessons that you learn, the things that you go through, the idols that you put down, whether you wanted to or not. When you worship certain things that take you out of alignment, it 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 doesn't allow you to get to Nineveh faster. You take it the long way.
Yeah.
But when you keep your eyes focused on where it needs to be on the thing that you're supposed to be doing, it goes a lot faster. And when you are aligned with the right people, and that's the thing, your alignment was off. You can just move your hips just a little bit, and you'll be going a total opposite direction of where you're going. And you might think you're going in the right direction, but just an eighth of an inch can take you totally off track. And that's a part of life. And when dark stuff happens, when we don't want to know why, the question we should really be asking is why not?
Mm.
Why not you?
Yeah, no, and it's because even recently, so 20 2023 was a pretty was was a pretty good year for my podcast, right? It really started growing and taking off, but it was kind of like difficult because my mom started she was diagnosed with dementia and Alzheimer's, and so she started declining and deteriorating quickly. So
Mm,
I'm still doing the podcast, right? And I'm going through the stuff that I'm going through with my mom, and then on top of that, um, I'm 300 and something pounds. I'm really overweight and obese, and I have a CPAP machine. It malfunctions, and I really don't. And there's probably like 3 4 months where I'm not getting any sleep. I'm
mm,
not sleeping properly and dealing with the stuff with my mom and everything. And so I didn't really get to celebrate the success of the podcast. I didn't really like, and it was like and it was crazy because I was still doing the show consistently, even though I was going through with what I was going, being tired and all that. It was like I just went on autopilot because I had already
mm-hmm.
been training myself to really just get a system in place where it's easy for me now. It's just takes me a couple 20, 30 minutes to have the show ready for the next day. And so when she passed last year, um,
Mm. Sorry.
it was like, all right, I didn't get to enjoy. I got to enjoy my last moments with her.
Yeah.
So that was something that, even though I didn't get to enjoy the success of the podcast, because I was kind of like enjoying my moments with her and spending my time with her and doing what I had to do to really like make sure that when I was on the podcast that I was still doing what I had to do. Make sure I was still
Absolutely.
on point.
Consistent. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes, unfortunately, that happens. We put our blinders on, like the horses, to put your blinders on, and you put your head down and you do what you got to do until you get out of where you're going, or you're at your destination. But what I do want to do is allow you to understand that you are human and give yourself grace
Hmm.
and celebrate.
Yeah.
You
Oh no,
have
yeah,
to.
yeah,
You have to.
that was
Those
something.
little wins.
Yeah, that was something that was very important. And now I've uh I started my journey on my weight loss journey last year. Um
Let's go.
September. So now I when I started my journey, I was probably like 370, 380.
Hmm.
I am way under that now. I am
No,
probably
what number are you? What now? What number are you at? Because you have to be proud of that number.
I'm ecstatic of the number
Okay.
265.
Let's go. Come on now.
Yeah, 265.
Come on now. You have lost a whole teenager.
Oh, I lost the whole body. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've
You
lost,
done lost a whole teenager. Come on now.
I've lost the whole body, and it's made so much difference and just my energy and just so many different things. Like it's really changed my life to be able to be able to breathe and I could,
Yeah.
and not run up, be out of breath, or just take a couple of steps upstairs and still like so. It's been an amazing journey this past year, and so yeah, I'm I'm I'm
I'm
excited.
proud of you.
I'm yeah, thank you.
I'm I'm super proud of you because it takes a lot to have dedication to do that and your craft and work and all the other hats that you have on,
Yeah.
right? Because you're not just a podcaster. Like you
Oh,
said, you're a grandpa,
oh
you're an
yeah,
uncle,
yeah.
you're a dad, your husband.
Hmm.
You're wearing all of these other hats while you're still dedicated to yourself and self-preservation, right? Because you want to be there to walk your grandson down the aisle. So you're doing these things so you can be here. You're also understanding, yes, I did have parents that passed early. How can I better myself? Because I'm sitting. How can I move? How can I be better? How can I eat better? How can I present myself better? How can I be present? Because
Yeah.
it's very hard to be present, and you realize when that was going on, you weren't,
Hmm.
and it happens. It happens. Some, like you said, we go into autopilot when shift happens.
Yep.
It's nothing you can do. You just pivot, right? Or you operate in it until you can pivot. But the cool thing is that you were still winning in the process of your shift. That's the cool part.
Yeah.
And at the end of your shift, you shifted your mindset to be better. Your personal development, you
Hmm.
know, helping your mind. You're helping others with these platforms. And I mean, it's only going to get better from here. So I salute you for all that you have done, not just for others, but for yourself. You have to operate at your best self in order to help others. You can't operate from a deficient place. Your cup cannot be empty.
Yeah.
And if you don't find ways to pour into your cup constantly, you're going to be drained. This is how you gain weight
Hmm.
because you pouring out what you don't have. But when you're pouring out from abundance, and I did learn that from Grant Cardone, you should always pour out from overflow and abundance.
Mm.
That way you are never taking from the cup that should always be full.
Mm. That's some real. Like I said, you've been dropping nuggets the whole episode, so that's just another one. This is something. This is one episode I definitely gonna have to come back and listen to.
I appreciate you for having me.
Oh, thank you. But now we've come to the part of the show where you're gonna get the solo screen and you're gonna get to plug away and let everybody know exactly where they can find you, website, everything.
Okay. Well, my name is Angela Lewis. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn as the real Angela Lewis. You can also go to my website, Savvy Designs. That's S as in Sam, A as in Apple, V as in Victor, V as in Victor, Y, designs with an S, .info. You can also find me at the Pink Elephant Solutions pinkelephant.com, pinkelephant.solution.com, or you can connect with me at the Pink Elephant Solution /Angela. Those are ways that you can connect with me. And you can also email me at Angela at savvydesigns.info. Again, that's Angela at savvydesigns.info. I'm here to help businesses grow. I'm here to help entrepreneurs take their business to the next level. But I'm mostly here to help you to begin, to become, to continue to be the expert in your space. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for being such a wonderful guest. This was great.
Thank you.
Don't leave just yet. Let me close out the show and we'll chat a little bit off the air. But thank you so much, man. This has been great. I love this episode. We've even gone over the time that I use.
It's okay. I know you'll chop it up.
Oh, no. It's going on like this complete. No, I don't mean like I usually the episodes usually go like I've had episodes that have gone more than an hour, but that's because the conversation has been great. That's why this
Well,
but it's
thank
usually
you.
30, 35, 45 minutes. But when you get that guest that you just have so much you can talk about and it's just a great conversation, it tends to overflow. So that's fine with me. I'm cool with that.
Cool. Cool. Thank you for having me again. This has been fun. Even though this is not my zone, me doing
Oh, you
podcasts,
do.
but
You
I
got
said,
you
let
good.
me
Keep doing them. Keep doing them. Don't stop.
thank you.
You're a wonderful guest, and all those platforms will benefit from having you. So if and I actually I'm gonna reach out to some other podcasting people, but it's it's funny, right? Because I am the only out of all of my friends in podcasting that I really connect with and have relationships with, I'm the only one in my niche, really, except for Maria.
Mm.
I'll connect you with Maria and Jeff. But all the other ones are more based on pop culture, entertainment, movies, and stuff like that. I
Well, yeah, let me connect them with me because I know somebody who's there.
Yeah, I'll connect
I
you.
know somebody in those industry. I have a couple of clients that are actors and in the industry, and
Okay, so yeah, I'll connect you with my peoples, and yeah, I'll do that.
man, I appreciate you for that.
No, I appreciate you. You've been throwing me some great guests, so I'm excited.
Yay!
Yeah, but thank you once again. Let me close out the show and we'll chat a little bit more. But thank you once again. This was great. I love it.
Thank you. This has been fun.
All right, everybody. Another great episode is in the books. I had a great time. This was awesome. If today's chat woke you up to how clarity can move the needle, go find Angela's work and let her show you how to cut the clutter and ignite momentum without drowning in busy work. And if you know a leader sitting on noise instead of strategy, send this episode their way. Momentum loves action. Let's get it moving. Stay clear, stay bold, stay wise. You know, your boy Wise does it. Peace out.